This game kinda blows. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. This game is some absolute dog water right here. To the person who recommended me this game, I hope you sleep nicely, because your pillow will be warm on both sides tonight!
I'm into fat bitches!
So a while ago I made a video on Roblox RPGs and asked for suggestions. Y'all really came through with those, but I've seen a couple suggestions for this game called Studlands. For those of you who don't know, which is like everybody according to the player count, Studlands is an open world RPG with a very study aesthetic. It's probably like the only thing I can really say about it because the gameplay is not really there. Before I start though, I gotta self-plug. Stop! Just give me a second. I see you about to skip this segment. Okay, for everyone that didn't skip this segment, I don't know, get this video to 3,000 likes if you want me to actually cover more viewer suggested videos if you think you have a better game in mind. Or you could, you know, dislike if you don't. I'm just a guy on the internet. Also, subscribe too. Our goal is to get 50k subs this year, and that'd be pretty nice. Also, if you're on mobile, there's a chance that there's a little hype button. So if you press that, it's basically a supercharged like button. That's all. Back to the video. Okay, before I say anything bad about the game, firstly, there's a tutorial. That's a lot more than what I can say about most of the other RPGs. The tutorial is kinda, but it teaches you something. That means that I don't have to go to some stupid fandom wiki to learn the basic controls. Another positive is that the music isn't bad. At least, I think the music is custom. I don't know, but take a listen. Also, side tangent, but when I was recording this part, I noticed people chatting, and I was like, oh, people are chatting. Then I realized that Roblox's age restriction is in effect, and that means that the only people I can chat with are adults. Grown adults are playing this game. Brother, I should not be seeing fully grown men playing Studlands, talking in the chat like this. Anyways, that's like all the good I have to say about this game. I can only play for a few hours before just straight up giving up, because the dopamine ain't dopamining. First thing I want to say is that I just want all these characters to shut up. Shut up! This is probably the most superficial criticism I have of the game, so I'm getting it out of the way first, but it's hard to call them characters because they're mostly just copy-paste NPCs with one joke. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, this game doesn't take itself too seriously, which isn't a bad thing, by the way. If you want to make a game with silly writing and dialogue, go right ahead. It's just that these guys are some of the most unfunny NPCs I've seen in an RPG to date. One of the NPCs says to talk to every NPC, even if they don't have a quest, because you never know when they have something important to say. That is some BS right there. I've talked to plenty of NPCs, but I can count on my fingers the amount of NPCs that didn't make me want to roll my eyes all the way to the back of my head. The game's main style of humor is Roblox kid Discord humor. They all write like the kind of person you'd see on Discord that makes Roblox games their whole personality. One time I found one NPC that goes, hello sir, I have a weird question. And then he starts talking about, if I were to put a lot of soda down my pants and the bubble spilled up, will I float? That's obviously stupid, but then he goes on an infinite loop of asking, please? And will I float? Over and over. I had to get an autoclicker and check, but yeah, this is an infinite loop of just this one joke. Obviously, I could cancel the conversation at any time, but this is the kind of writing we're dealing with here. It's one thing to make a few characters idiots, but when the whole world is inhabited by brain-dead lobotomites, that's when you gotta reel it back. The joke gets old so fast when every conversation is the same joke! I'm just gonna say it. This is cringe. I never ever called a game cringe before. Cringe. But Jesus Christ. Ultimately, bad writing doesn't mean the end of the world, so that's why I put it first. However, another thing that kind of blows is that this world is so freaking disjointed. At the beginning, you get a book full of everything you need to know about how to start the game in case you need to reference anything. You have to equip it to your hotbar as a tool, which is kind of weird. You really couldn't make this a menu button? I digress. This tells you a basic grasp on where to start, because one thing about the game is that almost every quest needs to be unlocked by doing a prior quest. There are so many times I come across a quest NPC and they start talking about needing to do some other quests, like, do you think you could tell me where it is? Also, the book says that when you do the starting quest chain, all the quests basically open up. I did all the quests that the guidebook told me to do, and the game hasn't opened up in any way whatsoever. So this book is cap right here. I still come across NPCs that ask me to do some random other quest first. Essentially, the game is one big quest chain, but done in the weirdest way possible. There's no main story quest or any end goal for that matter. Open world RPGs often forget that a good open world game has a central goal to work towards and not just dozens of disjointed random quests. The open world aspect comes from tackling that goal in however way you want by giving you the freedom to choose what to do. These games just make it feel like a checklist of quests that I do for the sake of checking off a list.
Oh, Cuban, you just gotta get to endgame, and then it gets good.
I don't want to play this current game! Why would I try to get to endgame, moron? So, before I continue, let me fire off some miscellaneous complaints I have about the game. The stupid quest tracker stinks. Like, I accept the quest, but every time I do that, I have to manually go inside my quest tracker and press the track button. There's literally no reason for you to make the game like this. This might be the first game I've ever seen not automatically track the quest you just accepted! We're breaking new ground here. Another thing I want to mention is that there's this one NPC, it gives me a quest to kill some Cublins. I walk to the next room and I see a Cublin warrior. I kill some, as one does. The quest tracker doesn't update, but you'd think that it's bugged or something, as one does. I walk further ahead and see a mob with the name Cublin. I realize that the game wanted me to kill the one with the name Cublin and not Cublin warrior. Now you might be wondering, what's the difference between Cublins and Cublin warriors? As one does. So fine, I should have been killing the Cublins instead of Cublin warriors, so why do you put the quest giver in front of the Cublin warriors? You have to go out of your way to find the Cublins in this isolated segment of the map, but the game puts the Cublin warriors right in front of you. You have to kill Cublins, and this enemy has Cublin in its name, so you think that's what you have to fight. Wrong, you stupid dimwit! The Cublins are over there, dipstick! Didn't you know that? Yet another thing I want to talk about is that kill credits for multiplayer make no sense. I was doing a quest where I had to fight a boss, and two other people wanted to fight it too. They're obviously a duo, with one of the players being a newbie like me, and the other guy's their friend carrying them. No big deal. We go to fight the boss, it dies, and the quest isn't complete. The hard carry got the kill credit because they did the most damage. We wait for it to respawn, and we fight it again. The new guy gets the credit because they did the most damage. They up and squat-a-lot and left me to fight the boss myself. Why does only one person get kill credit at a time? This is a multiplayer game. I shouldn't have to worry about some over-leveled blunderbuss waltzing in and taking my kill. The only other game I've seen do this is YBA.
Your bizarre adventure.
Screw Paragon! Switching gears, but why am I not allowed to fast travel when I'm in a cave? The fast travel is unavailable for some reason. There's like literally no reason for me to not have fast travel. There's no lore reason because this game has no lore. There's no gameplay reason because I can access the menu just fine anywhere else. The game just lugs fast travel because why not? Let's have the player walk back the entire way, just because! Last thing I want to mention is combat. You got a left click attack and you got a right click special attack. You got a block and you got a dash. That's it. Now a simple combat system can be fine, but this is not it. If your player combat has simple mechanics and it has to be carried by the enemy attack patterns, safe to say, it did not deliver. Most enemy attacks go through a set loop of attacks and never really switch up. However, the enemies range from goo goo gaga baby mode, I can do this in my sleep, to spamming everything everywhere, all at once. Like, how do I dodge these projectiles the size of bookcases hurtling at me? If I block, I still eat a crap ton of damage because blocking only reduces damage taken. The only way to avoid damage is to physically avoid the attack. Also, the block sucks not just because of that. There is in fact a block buffer in this game. That means that if you press block during the end lag of an attack, you'll automatically block when it's over. However, the block has a cooldown. An invisible cooldown at that. It's only like a second or two, but so is dashing, and that has a cooldown indicator. When blocking is on cooldown, you can't buffer it, meaning that if you happen to try to buffer block while it's on cooldown, too bad, so sad. What is this, a bizarre day? Unrelated, but the player's attack hitboxes are weirdly inconsistent. Sometimes, for no reason at all, an attack will touch an enemy and just not do anything. It's like you never even hit them at all, but only sometimes. I had this happen to me earlier while fighting multiple times, but I wrote it off as me lagging really badly because all the servers are in Europe since no one plays in America. However, when I tested it, it really was the game's hitboxes just not working for some reason, but only sometimes. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it just doesn't. Anyways, this game is like if you took all the worst aspects of open world Roblox games and put it in a game. No offense. Why am I apologizing? There's no way the dev will watch my video. This game is already super niche, so no one will watch this anyways. If you made it to the end for some reason, put some actually good game suggestions in the comments. Give me Roblox games that you think are underrated. Anyways, I give Studlands a cube 911 out of 10.